Main hit, don't you?
No.
The Tiger.
No, I didn't know that.
What was your thought on the matchup, or what are your thoughts on playing Wisconsin?
I think with two, totally, opposite teams. And, I think whoever's, better at what they do, will win.
Have you watched them much during the year, Murphy? You know much about them? See them on TV?
I watch them a lot. They're always on TV. I've seen them. I've seen them play Florida. It was early in the year though, so you can't go by things like that. They've beaten real good teams in the Big Ten. Shoot it and defend.
When you play teams that try to slow it down and use a more methodical pace, does that frustrate you? How do you overcome that?
I don't think we played many teams like that.
Alabama maybe.
Alabama, but they scored 80 something on us. So not really. You gotta be patient. Sometimes we get bored on defense, but we try to create turnovers and try to speed them up.
You seen anything like their ball movement?
No. Yeah, they're very efficient. So, today when we watch film, I guess, we'll touch more on that kind of stuff.
How's the week been now that you've been back on campus?
Oh, man, it's been good, man. A lot of love. I got a standing ovation in math class.
Do you have to fight the like they talk about teams that get to the Super Bowl for the first time and they're just happy to be there, and then afterwards they're like, yeah, we got caught up in the moment. Do you have to fight to avoid the just happy to be there mentality?
I don't think so, man. I think our whole team, I think we belong. Like Coach told us when we played Florida, do you actually think we belong here? At halftime, everybody say, yeah. Play like you belong here. You've earned it. So I think we've earned it. We belong to be in this spot that we are.
Along those lines, Murphy, a 12 seed, you think that's too low?
I want it to be, of course you want a better seeding, after the games that we won, but I'm just glad to be in there. I'm glad to be in the tournament.
How can a weekend like the one y'all had in Nashville, where you got 1-3 games in 3 days against two quality opponents from Missouri and Florida, how can that help you going into the tournament when it's going to be just like that?
I think it just gives you motivation. I'm kind of glad that we were down in most of those games and came back. That lets us know, like in the tournament, because we get down early doesn't mean that it's over.
We asked Marshall on Sunday about not getting on the coach's all SEC team. His reaction was a little more animated than yours. Yesterday, you didn't get on the media one either.
They just don't think I'm good enough, man. It's
Does that bother you? Does it motivate you?
It don't bother me no more. I'm in the tournament. It doesn't even. That's all we play for anyway. It doesn't bother me at all though. The coaches poll, it motivated both of us. Like I said, I thought Marshall should have been on more than myself, the SEC leading scorer. I think they said this year, the first year the SEC leading scorer wasn't on all SEC first team.
Since 2001.
Yeah.
I think that was Daniel Snowden research.
It was.
There's so much attention paid to Marshall. Can he kind of deflect some of it on you guys and let you guys just focus on the game?
Oh, man, he can have all the attention, and it's just like expectations for him are high. So whatever we contribute is just good,
Do you have a favorite Marshall moment this year?
It's a few of them, man. I like the Gator chant, even though we got to go get him from over there because we ain't, Florida fans don't play. But that's one of my favorite, the Gator chant. And one of his craziest moments, I think, was standing on the scores table after, what was that, our first round win against Missouri. But that's Marshall, and that gets him going.
What about the guys that have to kind of grab on? Coach mentioned that during the teleconference, the hands on them 24/7. What about the support staff?
That's their job. You got to not make sure Marshall gets in no trouble. And,
How much credit do they deserve though for this whole year?
They deserve a lot. But they deserve a lot. But Marshall hasn't done anything, remotely, crazy that can put him in trouble.
Right.
He has fun just like all the rest of us.
Can you give me